Morning everyone. First of all, I just want to say the response to my channel has been brilliant, and thanks to everyone that's been watching, and thanks to everyone that's been subscribing. And I'm getting close to 500 subscribers, which is brilliant. I've had over 50,000 views, which is great, and that's only in about 3 months. So yeah, really pleased. So thanks a lot everyone, big thumbs up to you all for that, and I want to wish you all a good weekend as it's Friday, and enjoy yourselves, and stay safe and all that. The story I'm doing this morning is just going to be a quick one. Basically it's about, I think it was 1996, so that's what, my maths is terrible, so yeah, that's quite a long time ago. That's 27 years ago actually, 1996 I think it was, or it could have been 97, and it's Highdown Prison. I can't remember what house block I was on then, but yeah, it's about these two guys. One of them was in for murder. He was on remand. I mean, it's quite a big story back then. I can't even remember what part of London he was from, South London I think, but it's quite a big story because what it was about, this guy, he was on the ACAT, and he was in patches, you know, he was in stripes, you know, because he was an escape risk and he was an ACAT, so he was in a single cell. And I used to talk to this guy a lot because he was on medication, you know, sleeping tablets and all that sort of stuff. And everywhere he went, you know, he had, I think it was 2-man escort. Or possibly, no, I don't even think it was a 2-man escort. He used to, when he used to go down to the healthcare, I remember seeing him with just a 1-screw escort. So, you know, so I used to go down there and follow him down there to try and get his meds off him and all that. I know it was pretty bad I was back then for all that sort of stuff. But he didn't mind, you know, someone for him to talk to, I suppose. So yeah, what it was with him, the reason it was a big story, because this is, you know, it's a pretty bad story. And you know, and I just want to say, with friends like this, you don't really need you don't need enemies, do you? Really, you know. Basically, what happened was he basically had an argument with his friend one night after a night of drinking or whatever in his flat in London. You know, and he's had this argument over something minor, I think, like a football game or something stupid, petty little argument. And basically, he stabbed his best friend to death, you know. And then what he did, he chopped up the body into pieces and, you know, chopped it all up in the flat, then put it all in black sacks, and then, rather than trying to bury the body, he just dumped it all in the wheelie bin outside his flat, and then went off to the airport and got an aeroplane to the United States, to New York. You know, and obviously the police have found the body. Well, the dustman found the body, obviously, reported to the police a little while later, you know, a few days later after it had been dumped. I think it was the first rubbish collection on the Friday probably, and that was reported to the police. And basically, yeah, they got onto the States, obviously, and you know, because they found out he'd gone over to New York, and he was captured in New York, you know, and basically he was captured in New York and put in Rikers Island prison, you know, and the papers got hold of all this, you know, and it was a big story back then. I'm sure you can check it out if you like. So yeah, so basically he was brought home from Rikers Island prison in New York to England, and obviously he come via Gatwick, and he ended up in Highdown prison because Gatwick airport was under that sort of jurisdiction there, you know. If you got nicked at Gatwick, then you'd get remanded to Highdown. So yeah, that's a little bit of the backstory of why he was in there, you know. So yeah, and the victim was his best friend. So yeah, I remember this guy. You know, at first he was appearing to be normal, but as time went on, he was deciding to sort of nut himself off, you know, make out he was mad, you know, and really I think actually he was mad to do something like that, you know. He obviously wasn't normal, was he? So, you know, like I say, you know, that was meant to be his friend. Um, so yeah, yeah, I remember he used to get medication and stuff like that. I used to get these tablets off him and stuff like that. And he was on the ACAT because of the nature of the offence, and also because he was an escape risk because he had fled the country and gone to America. That's why he was in patches. You know, because a lot of the time people were put in patches maybe because they got a lot of money, or you know, that they could possibly escape. You know, maybe they had no intention of doing that, which I don't think he did once he was caught again. You know, and like I say, yeah, he was in the stripes, in the blue overalls with the yellow stripe down the side, and he was on the ACAT, you know, where he would have had screws checking him out all the time, you know, checking his cell out more often than everyone else's cells. He would have been in a single cell. They walk around with a little book, a little blue book they had, where they used to write everything in there, everything he'd done, every move he made, and all that, you know. So yeah, this time, so I remember seeing him down the healthcare, and see one time these guys were there from Broadmoor again, you know, in the long leather coats. The psychiatrists had come to visit him because obviously he was nutting himself off, or because the nature of the offence, they obviously thought he was insane. And I can't tell you what happened in that case. Whether he, I mean, obviously he got lifed off. I know that much, but I can't tell you if he ended up in a psychiatric hospital like Broadmoor or Hampton, you know, because he was moved or I was moved, you know, later down the line. I think in that year, I ended up getting a detox sentence, a rehab sentence, and going to Norwich in Norfolk, and I can do a story about that in the future. So yeah, he's getting visits from psychiatrists and all that. And the next thing I see, I think another guy's come in, a coloured guy, and he also killed his best friend or a friend of his. I don't know if it was his best friend, but like they say, birds of a feather flock together. So they were next door to each other, you know, on the freeze there opposite me on the spur I was on in Highdown. And I remember, yeah, and this other guy was nutting himself off as well. You know, a lot of guys do this when they're facing a life sentence because they think they're going to get it easier. But, you know, I'm not sure about all that, whether they get it easier or not in the long run. But, yeah, so what they were doing, they used to shave off their eyebrows completely, and they were walking around together everywhere on the spur, everywhere they went, you know, with their eyebrows shaved off completely, and their heads shaved completely bald, and it did look a bit funny, you know. I mean, I shouldn't laugh really, you know, because his new friend, the coloured guy, he stabbed someone 76 times, I think it was, you know, and I don't really know much else about that guy, you know, because after that was going on, like I say, I went to another wing, or I got out, I can't really remember, but I'm sure it'll all come back to me. Yeah, so that's just a quick one, guys. So yeah, bit of a shocking story for the weekend there, and like I say, I really appreciate all you guys watching and that. I hope you're all well and that, and just want to say again, have a good weekend, guys, and speak to you all soon. Bye.